Sound Alchemist here, and today you guys are in for a treat. You've been asking for it, and here it is. More Heroclix, but it's not quite what you guys might think. It is actually a showcasing of my epic Heroclix collection. So we're going to go A through Z with my vast collection of Heroclix that I've managed to compile over the years. So let's stop lollygagging and let's dive into my collection. Alright, so we're starting off with my Thor section of my collection. And the first Thor actually, I just use him because he looks pretty badass. You can see that effect on his sculpt with the hammer. And he's not a bad card. As you can see here, he's got some good abilities. And point values, I think, are pretty good for a Thor. My second Thor, I like the way the cape looks. That's pretty much why I'm using him. And his Avengers Assemble trait is pretty good. And then finishing off with Loki from the Chaos War set. He has Mystics and he has the Avengers keyword, which is really good, especially on an all-Avengers team. On to one of my favorite parts of my collection, Thanos and his Black Order. Now these guys are really good click-wise and comic-wise, and I can't wait to see them in the Avengers movies that are for sure to be coming up. So let's start all the way on our left side with Thanos. The sculpt for this guy looks amazing. I like the energy coming out of his palms. And he has really good abilities with his gauntlet or the tribute. And he's not too expensive for a pretty beastly click here. Next up is Supergiant. I haven't had a chance to use her yet, but she looks pretty good and intimidating. And here you can see her abilities. And she's pretty well costed at 120 points. Next up is Black Dwarf, the brute of the squad. He has Indom, yeah, so he can push twice and take no damage, which for a guy like him should be no problem at all. And then we got Proxima Midnight. I've heard that she is a beast in the game, especially with her Tracers of Black Light ability, and her Spirit of Proxima Midnight is just crazy. Be sure to keep an eye out on her when we use her in future games. My favorite of the Black Order, Corvus Glaive, is just looking badass in that sculpt. And his abilities seem pretty good as well. I just wished he was a little bit more beefier, but oh well. And then finishing off with Ebony Maw. He's like the, I guess, not fighter of the group, so he's just there just for thematic purposes. To the Iron Man section of my collection, starting off with the Hulkbuster. This guy is a beast, and you can see him in action in our Heroclix video where he goes against the Hulk. Just make sure to search that in our YouTube channel. Following that is the Chaos War Iron Man. I'm using this guy because he works best with my playstyle. I know there are better Iron Mans out there, but this guy seems to work well with me. And then we've got War Machine over here, the old school sculpt, looking pretty badass with a bunch of targets, and this guy is really, really good. We've got the old school Black Panther. This guy's really good. I haven't tried the newest Black Panther, so I'm looking forward for that. He's got some pretty good abilities there, especially with that outwit. Following him, we've got Captain America. This guy is really amazing because he's got that ability where he can either use his super soldier or shield capabilities. So whether you're on defense or on the attack, this guy's your guy. Following him, we've got the Hulk from the Avengers movie. This guy's a beast, but I've also heard that the newest Hulk from the Avengers Age of Ultron is also pretty beast. So we gotta do a Hulk versus Hulk to see who's best. And then ending it up is Hawkeye. Amazing, amazing sharpshooter. This guy can really bring the pain from far away. And now on to my favorite Marvel character, the Sentry. This guy is really beast. The sculpt is really good. I'm really glad they made him into a Heroclix. He's just shy of 300 points, but he is well worth it, especially with his ability that he can switch into the Void. Now this guy's sculpt is just nasty, gnarly, epically cool. He is really good. He's got that ability where if he takes damage or if he heals up, I believe it's where you can switch back to Sentry. And then I've got the Chase, Sentry and Void. This guy is just a powerhouse, especially in the comics. Check out Siege, really good read. And this guy has just been a pain for my opponents. Now we've got these two villains. They didn't really fit quite well with the rest of my collection, so I just lumped them here together. We've got Ultron Prime, as you've seen in our battle reports. Really good character. I'd say best villain in the Marvel Universe so far, besides Loki, if he even counts as a villain anymore. And then next to that, we've got my favorite comic book villain, Doctor Doom. Amazing sculpt, and a pretty good click, as you can see here. Too bad they didn't do him justice in that new Fantastic Four movie. We've got Ex Nihilo. I just thought he was a cool character, which is why he's in my collection. His card is actually pretty interesting with that Origin Bomb trait or ability he has. And then we've got everybody's favorite Inhuman, Black Bolt. Really good guy. Always does wonders in the games. And then we got Red Hulk over here. Just another brute that I decided to add into my collection to kind of even things out with the Hulk. Here we got the small but amazing Spider-Man section of my collection. That's a mouthful. We got Venom over here. I like the sculpt. I just wish he was a little bit more beefier, like in a lot of comics and movies that he's in. But he does pretty alright with his abilities. And then we've got the homeboy Spidey over here. He's a little positioned weird on the Heroclix, but who cares? It's Spider-Man. He's a pretty cool guy, especially if you use his morph technique, which I don't, but I should be doing. But anyway, that's my Spider-Man section. Here we have the first half of my X-Men collection. Over to his amazing sculpt. We've got Iceman with that translucentness. Really looks pretty cool. He's a pretty good Heroclix as well. I've only used him a few times, but he's done really good in those tight matches. Follow up to Scarlet Witch. A really good Heroclix. She's basically the bread and butter to any team with her outwits and penetrating and sharpshooters, and her No More Mutants ability is amazing. Next up, we've got her dad, Magneto. Amazing sculpt, amazing Heroclix. He's just an epic guy to go up against. Next up, we've got Hope Summers. I basically got her because she was pretty badass in the Avengers vs. X-Men storyline. And her click is not too bad. Colossus is finishing it up over here. He's basically just a brute. Not much more I can say about this guy. Here we have the last section of my collection, the rest of the X-Men. Alright, we've got Namor over here. Pretty badass dude, especially when he's near water. 225 points I think is a bit too much, but he's alright. I guess I can't complain. Next up, we've got Wolverine. This click is amazing. His traumatic healing trait is just sweetness. He's got the Avengers keyword and the X-Men, which he can go in a bunch of teams. Really good guy. Followed up next to Professor X. I just couldn't say no to this click. He had to be in there because it's Professor X. He's just amazing. And then we've got everybody's favorite Deadpool. We had our own narrative campaign with this guy. He's got a movie coming out soon. You bet you're going to see a lot more Deadpool. And then we've got Cyclops. This click is alright. I just wish I had the Phoenix for Cyclops, but it's alright though. I can make do without it, especially when I got Emma Frost. She's really good. I like her click where she can choose to either go into diamond form or use her psychic abilities. Really comes in handy because you could switch her up to whatever dial you need her to be in. And there you have it, guys. The good, the bad, and the ugly of my collection. I know it's kind of small, but I like every one of these clicks. I think they're all pretty badass in their own way. Write down in the comments down below if you guys want to see Gersh's collection. He has a lot more clicks than I do, so I know you guys want to see that. Also, write down what are some clicks you guys might want to see in the future. Anything from Nick Fury and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. all the way back down to the old school sculpts of long ago. Just make sure you like and comment on this video. And I have been the Sound Alchemist, signing out.